Hello.
Good evening. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name's Barry.
And I'm Jay.
And together we are Mitosu Crafts.
And this is Tommy.
This is a two-part of Mitosu.
Yes, welcome to our channel. We're independent Stampin' Up demonstrators based in the UK. Today you have Barry creating one, maybe two cards featuring the Hang An Ornament bundle plus other Stampin' Up supplies.
Yes. Who knows? Just like to chuck everything at it.
Yes, so if you are watching the replay, do fast forward to the demonstration if you prefer, as we'll say hello to those of you joined us live. Cat hair. Whiskers. So we have Tanji, hello, Valerie. We also have Linda, Gian, Charlotte, Pauline, hello, Sandra, Vivian, Lisa Allport, Lisa's Love, good evening to you, Subi, Elizabeth, Darla, William, hello, Marty, and it jumped. Danette, Hermelinda, Stempelstein, hello, good evening. Oh, Cheryl, sorry, I jumped. Keisha, hello to you, and I believe that is everyone.
That is, so far.
Yes.
So, yes, good evening to you. So, yeah, we're going to crack on. Tommy has just laid down right across both of us right now. It's typical, isn't it? But we're going to crack on, and I'm going to play with the Hang An Ornament tonight, as Jay's already said, with other stuff on the table as well. So we'll see what happens. It should technically be a quick card if I just keep to what I have planned, but I may play, so one card could turn into about an hour long. Who knows? But yeah, so I reckon we'll go camera down.
Yes. Come on, Tommy.
Food. Do remember you can purchase your Stampin' Up craft goodies from us via our online shop. So I'll pop the details on screen right now, mitosucrafts.com/shop. And that is where you can order your Stampin' Up craft supplies. So if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Netherlands, Austria, Belgium or Ireland, you can shop with us. So please head over to that if you like anything you see me using. So yeah, let's crack on. Remove that one right there for you. And let's have a little look. So Hang An Ornament. We have also got a retreat coming up with this on Sunday. So in a couple of days' time. So we're really playing with this. And we've got lots of stuff which is just going to be for the retreat only on Sunday, and you can still book in for that one as well, but this is what I'm going to be playing with right now. And I have also got on the table, what else have I got on the table? I have also got the Peaceful Season stamp set. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using that yet, along with the dies. I've also got Reindeer Fun on here as well, mainly more for the sentiments is what I'm really going to be using these ones for. So that's that one. I've also got on here the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder, and I've also got the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. Now I don't know what ones I'm going to be using yet, but they're out and they're ready. So yeah, so what I have got, I just need to grab some stuff. So I'm just going to bring my trimmer in. So I am going to grab myself some grey granite cardstock right here, and I'm just going to cut my A4 piece in half at 10.5. So I'm going to be doing a 10th-fold card. So 10.5 by 28 I'm going to take this to. Ten and a half by 28. And then I will then score that at 14. And that there gives me my 10th fold card, like so. I'm just going to use my bone folder, front and back, because Jay tells me off for not doing that, because it doesn't lay flat. So there we go. So that's how you create a 10th fold card, if you were wondering, and the measurements for it. So what I've also got is I've got myself a bit of basic white here. So this is measuring 10.5 centimeters wide, so it's going to be the full width of the card by, I think I did it around about 5 centimeters. Yeah, so 5 centimeters. So that was just a gauge. So just something, there's no real specific measurement for that. So in inches, that's about 2 inches. by 4 1/8 of an inch. And that's going to go on like so. I'm also going to be using some of the papers from the Seasons of Elegance Designer Series paper. So this is also a very, very pretty paper pack. So you've got these lovely reds, real reds with these gold foiling in it. You've got the one with the basic beige with the gold foiling. You've got pretty peacock with gold foiling. And then we have got the green, which is... let's have a look. That's old olive, I would say. Is that one with your green as well? So really, really pretty papers in this one. I'm going to be using the green to start off with. Now I've already gone ahead and I've gone and cut myself some strips down like so. Okay, so that's that, and then they're just going to go top and bottom. You could just use some green pieces if you want, but I had this lovely paper, so I figured I was going to use it. So they're going to go like that. Okay, but I'm not going to stick those. Oh, well, you can stick those on now if you want to. If you're doing this, if you want to keep this plain, and then we can then stamp a sentiment in here later on once we've positioned our ornament in this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little bit of a play, and I want to emboss it. So I've not used the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder yet, so I'm going to do this as well. And yeah, Jay's used it, he has, yes. Just to add a little bit of detail on this. Mini box with so I'm just going to do this, and I'm just going to pop this in like so, just anywhere on this one here. I'm going to try and keep it as straight as I can, even though the good thing with this is the lines aren't perfectly straight, so it allows you to be wonky. So if you aren't exactly 100% level in this, then I wouldn't worry about it too much, because I think they've given you a little bit of forgiveness with some of the inner lines being wonky as well. So it just might be a little bit more pleasing to the eye. What's that about dinner?
I said one of us will be tidying and the other will be making dinner.
Jay can tidy. And let's have a little look. And that there is that embossing folder right there for you. So it's got some really nice detail on that. Let's just... I also want to do one with the snowflake and have a little look at that. One thing you have to bear in mind when doing the embossing is it does shrink the paper ever so slightly, so you just need to be aware of that if you're going to have any shrinkage. And I think we've done fine actually on that one. Let's bring in my snowflakes. This isn't an old one. So this is already in this isn't new. This is already in the catalogue. Still available for you to purchase. This is a Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. Just now need to work out where I want my probably around about there, I would say, so that then it's coming down heavier. Actually, I'm going to go down a bit more to the bottom. Like that. This is also a 3D one, so I'm just going to bring in my 3D plates. goes. And it's just tidy up as I go. So there's not much tidying normally to do when I've, well, I say after I've crafted. Jay's just last time I was really messy.
You covered the whole thing.
So that's what the two look like. Okay, so we've got the plaid one going on right here. That one, and we've got the snowflake one right there as well. So some really, really nice detail on this. So now I just need to decide what one I want to use. Or maybe I'll do two cards and I use them both. So they're both going to be very, very similar to each other, these cards, but they may have a slight variation on them. So that's going to go on like that. I think initially I'm going to go with the more detailed one to start off with, the plaid one. So I'm just going to grab my Tombow glue and put some glue along the bottom there, and then I saw a post earlier on Facebook, and it was on another group. I can't remember where it was. And some lady asked us, "Why does everyone use glue now instead of tape runners?" I think so, and I think the simple reason is, if anyone's wondering why, I prefer the wiggle room which you get. You get time to wiggle.
Say that 3 times.
You get time to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
You can do it. I can't.
How does it go, Jay?
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I don't know if you can hear him in the background there, but so, and then that one's going to go on like that. So I'm going to try and get that equal distance. Like that. And it just gives me like that. I need to wiggle that because it's just a little bit off. And it just gives you that extra little bit of time. Whereas if you're using tape, then sometimes once it's down, it's down. And if you can sometimes peel it up, it damages the paper a little bit potentially. So I just like the fact that you've got a bit of wiggle time. That's it. There we go. And then that can then go on like so, right there. Okay, but I'm not going to put that on just yet. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab myself some red cardstock. So I'm just going to grab myself some real red. Real red? No, real red isn't neutral, it's a regal. Let's just grab myself some real red going on here. So we're kind of going with the traditional Christmas colours with your reds and your greens with this. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the stamp for the ornament, or the bauble. Doesn't feel right saying ornament, even though it is the name of it, but it's the bauble. And I'm just going to grab my Embossing Editions toolkit right here, and I'm going to take the embossing buddy, just give myself a bit of a clean up. Ink up my stamp. And let's go. I'm going to see whether or not I can get 2 out of this. I don't think I can get a second one in there, but we'll see. And I'm just going to use some white powder here.
Embossing powder.
White embossing powder. that one. And I'm just going to see, if I can get a second one on here, and I'm going to do it in gold because I want to see what it looks like. And in fact, actually, what I may do is I may take that one off, and let's do it in the second one so you can see what they both look like. Because they're both really, really pretty stamps, and they look stunning once they've been heat embossed as well. So no, so I can't get that second one in there. That's fine, let's just go to the side like that. And let's grab some red. Not red, gold. Where's gold? That one right there. Okay. Let's pop the lid back on these, and we will then do a little bit of heat setting. So that's what it looks like at the moment before it's been heat set. Okay, especially the gold. The gold should hopefully come to life once it's heat set. So if you've never seen heat embossing, then this is a wow. So just going to get this nice and warm. And can you see there, that gold just transformed just straight there in front of your eyes. Which is why sometimes it's good to fry a heat emboss underneath as well, so it's good for the camera. But also I think it limits it reduces the heat a little bit and makes it a little bit softer, so it reduces the burn, which you can sometimes get. Minnie, I don't trust you at the moment. Please disappear. So I'm just going to wipe off any of that excess powder, the white powder which would have been on there for the from the embossing buddy. Just on my hand is good enough for that. And then what we can do is just tidy your workstation just a little bit, and then we need to find a die. Okay, so a die for this is in the Hang An Ornament die, like that. And then we can go ahead and then we can then cut these out. So they are a little bit tricky to line up, but it's one of those things you kind of just need to eyeball it a little bit. I don't know where the take your pick tool is.
Oh, it's in this.
I'll try and poke it out with this one right here. We had a crafting event today, and Jay's not unpacked everything yet, so that's that. So I kind of just look at where the top is and kind of just line it up so I can see the top part, and then kind of slide it down until all of those leaves look like they are all in it. Have a bit of tape handy, I would say, and then run that through your machine. Now, see, this is designed to stay in the paper. I'll show you in a second what I mean by that. So it's designed to stay in. So if you are playing with this, if you have got this and it doesn't go, you think to yourself, it's not come out. It's designed to do that, because I suppose in a way it's meant to be something which somebody can then peel off. You can attach your string to it, you can peel off, and then they can then hang their own ornament, is what it's designed to do. Okay, so but take it out if you want, but it's designed to stay in there as well. So I'm just going to do both of those whilst I've got it here. The problem with that is if you're using tape, then it sometimes sticks too well, which then means, oh no, that's it was stuck in there. So just be careful with it, and then we'll then pop that out like so. So there's our two ornaments which we have got. Oh, you're welcome, darling. I'm pleased I could let you know about that. Yes, I really quite like that. So that's those two right there. So these are going to go on like that. And then what we need to worry about is we need to look at a sentiment. So the sentiments which come with this, well, there's a few things I need to do actually first. I'm going to just see if there's a little bit of a scrap going on with this gold. Yeah, there's a little bit there. I've been using the scraps from these bits right here for my top bit of the bauble. What did we ever find out what this is called?
What?
The top bit of the bauble. The crown.
That's what I've been calling it.
The crown. Does anyone know what this part at the top here of the bauble is called? The correct terminology on it. The cap. I don't know. Is that the correct terminology? But I'm going to use this paper here just to cut this out, because I quite like having this part of being gold.
Finial.
Sorry?
Finial.
Finial. Is that the correct?
Well, I googled it.
Okay. Can't be as bad as my tittle. Yes, Charlotte, you're correct. The part that always falls off in the box.
Bauble hangers.
Bauble hats. Let's just call it a bauble hat.
I quite like finial.
So I'm just using that, but do pop it back. Actually, I'll do two whilst I've got it here, so I haven't got to get this out again so it's ready for the second bauble. Bayonet, who knows?
Bayonet. What shall we call it?
So, and it works well with this paper, with the foil, but do pop it back in your pack, because this die set has got a lot of small pieces in it, so it does have the potential to go missing. What was the set which we lost a couple of weeks ago, Jay, and we couldn't find something, and we spent ages looking for it?
Oh, like a month or two ago.
And it fell in the drawer, but we were hunting on the floor for it. So I'm just going to...
I shared it in the Crafty Stampers group.
Yeah, so it's really frustrating when you drop one of these and you can't find it, but you heard it drop. So I'm just going to pop that little... I like a crown. Okay, Jude is going on with you, Jade. Google says it's a finial.
Yeah, Marty says it's wrong. Cheryl said, I've always called it the gold or silver thingy. We do like a thingy.
Yes, we do like a thingy. And then I say to Jay, what's a thingy? Can you elaborate, please? So that kind of just ties that in a little bit there as well. And if we have the gold thingy on the gold bauble.
And Louise said it can be finial, ornament cap, or hip knob.
Ornament cap. As I always just call it the pain in there.
That's funny. Will there new words that we forget?
I will never forget my favourite word.
What, the dot of an eye?
The dot of an eye. I love it. So that's going on like so. Like that. Okay. So we're going to go. I'm going to stick with the white potentially on this one here because I like the white with the gold top. So with sentiments, we can go with several on this. I just need to have a bit of a tidy up with this stamp set for a moment because they're all over the place and I'm really worried that I'm going to lose one. I just need to have a little bit of a check. And I've got two, there it is there. I thought I was missing one, but I just put it in the wrong place. So I'm going to go, so you've got these two sentiments in here, just for you or All is Mary, which can go perfectly over these like this. I'll get rid of those, they're annoying me. So we can have, let's just have a little bit of a play with how it's intended. So we're going to go with that one right there. And I've got a bit of scrap right here. All is Mary. Let's try this in real reds. And just see. Which is that, and then that then is a tight squeeze. But we will see if that actually works. I'm not sure if it's really just meant to go in there like that, but we will. But you will need to pop some tape on that just to make sure it doesn't move.
Everyone likes whatchamacallit.
Whatchamacallit, yeah. It is a tight squeeze, but it does go in there quite nicely. So that's that. So we can kind of go like that, or that can go across the middle like so, which works quite nicely in that as well. Actually, you know what, I was thinking to myself it needed it over here, but now that I've seen it over the top of the ornament like that, I think that works quite nicely. It just obviously it's designed, that's kind of where it's designed to go as well, but I think that works quite nicely. And maybe I can then finish it off with doing some different some embellishments on that. So that's really the first card. I'm just thinking to myself, right, what can I do for the second one? Because it's all, so I'm kind of playing now at the moment with, so that could, if I want to stick all of that together, that there is potentially one card done for you like that. Really, really simple. But we want to see, so there's the other options which we had for this one as well is, I quite liked this Christmas is Better Together, or one of these large sentiments which is on here as well, so we could do this. So you know what, I'm going to go with this one definitely, so I'm just going to stick this down. This is definitely happening. So you're kind of just getting me in my playtime at the moment. This is kind of, I suppose, my process of how I do things. So these, obviously, like the ideas from these has come from Pinterest. Been looking on there for some old ones with some ornaments on it, and then I kind of just take the idea and then I'm just now working with it and adapting with it with something new which we've got, or just using the whole idea as inspiration. So that's going to go on like so, like that. Would it be work? Let's see how that's going to go. So that works quite well there with that gold piece going across the middle as well. But I quite like the white on white with the red, kind of just ties that in the middle like that. So I'm just going to go with that one to start off with. So we will stick that All Is Merry right across the middle. So let's just stick that there. So as I mentioned at the beginning, we do have a retreat coming up with this one on Sunday this week. So if you want to join us live, then booking is still available. But if you want to book and you can't join us live, then you can still book in for it, and it's going to be available even after Sunday as well. So you can still purchase the classes and then craft along at your own time afterwards. So Jay may pop up the link in a moment if he can. If not, then just head over to mitosukcrafts.com and pop the details on the screen right now, and you can go on to classes and events on there, and you'll be able to then find the retreats, upcoming and previous retreats, and all of our classes can be found on there as well.
I need to re-add the changing leaves.
So that's going to go on. So what embellishments do you reckon I could use on this, Jay? I'm asking Jay because I have no idea what embellishments we have got. Oh, just took the wrong one off. That one right there. I said to Jay earlier on before we come on, I said I don't do any crafting anymore. I've got no idea where anything is. I've got no idea what we actually purchase anymore.
Ooh, the Drucy one.
The Drucy.
The Drucy one.
Drucy.
I haven't used that yet, I don't think.
Drucy adhesive backed embellishments.
This one's...
And these come from the Sentimental Xmas suite, I'm assuming, on that one.
That one's new.
I like the candy ones, but they wouldn't work with this one. But no, you've not used this yet. So these, yeah, these are Drucy. They are sparkly.
Sparkless.
Sparklers. So being that we've got some gold going on in here as well, let's just use some of these.
I'm sure we have loads of new ones. I just can't see them all. I think Minnie's been.
Minnie's been, yeah. We've got a box which has been sat in there. It's got all of our embellishments and ribbons in it, but Minnie's fascinated by it. She just wants to sit in it.
No, she wants to. Yeah, inside.
So she's knocked it off several times. So who knows what we've lost under the sofa. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. They look like wine drum gums, don't they? Just want to nibble on those.
And that's the winter.
Don't they just look like gummy bears, like little gummy sweets? Because they've got that cloudy kind of dull look to them. Anyway, I get distracted by food. There's a very, very simple card right there for you using that. So I'm going to see what I can do if I can come up with a second. It's going to be the same style. I've already got myself a card base already done here, which was in my normal style. Let's just see how that can go. And I've got that one right there. And I've got myself my gold one. So let's have a little look at some other colours, shall we? Instead of doing the two shots. Let's go with that one. Right there. Let's try a little bit of the Pretty Peacock. I do like this Pretty Peacock colouring. I think it's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful on that. So let's just trim this down to size. So I'm going to do the same thing really, but we're just going to maybe just bring in a few other elements and try some different sentiments. So I'm just going to cut that down to 10.5. So what's going on there?
The Druzy. Yeah. Charlotte was saying Sparkly would have been a good name for it, but of course Stampin' Up called it Druzy, but it generated more conversation because everyone had to Google what Druzy meant.
Yes. Yes, Mardy, I know what you mean by that space on the. It was a little bit. It was bothering me as well. So initially that was going to be left blank and would have then had the sentiment going in there. And I may. So let's just have a little look, see how that goes. I don't know whether or not I like that actually. I'll keep it. The Pretty Peacock.
Really? I quite like it.
Let's go with it. We will see.
Why don't you raise it instead? No, you do you.
No, go on. You come in.
So instead of underneath, you have it on the top and raise it. So you kind of like have. So it'll be easier to line up in. Well.
Oh, okay. So we got like a smaller channel.
Yeah.
With the white.
Or it doesn't have to be as close. You can do the right at the edge, like on the top.
Yeah. Okay.
It's up to you.
All right. Let's go with
Sorry,
what Jay's.
I couldn't help it. I was hovering.
There's the embellishments. Have you got? Can you finally ever take your pick tool? So I can
yes,
have the small one.
here.
Oh, so you've taken it out. Thank you.
That's pretty much what I've just done.
So I'm going to just do what Jay said, and we're just going to use things, but he's suggested me using dimensionals. but he doesn't remember. He forgets that I use about 100.
Oh yeah.
If anything, what I should have done actually is got the foam strips out and done that across it. That would have been probably the better way of doing that. So I've kind of just popped that in like that. And we will see. So I've got no idea how this is going to come out now, because I don't know what this is going to... I don't know what the end goal is going to be. Let's just see if I can if it's easier this way. Yes. Okay, so if you are going to do it this way, I think it's easier to have it, because then you can then use the straight edge along a straight edge right here. It's just a little bit easier, and it doesn't matter if you're uneven on both sides, because that strip is exactly the same. So it doesn't really matter how that is going to go. So that's going to go down. So this could be a bit of a heighty card, because we may have that one down. So that's that. So initially what I wanted to do was I wanted to bring in the Peaceful Season set, which was this one right here, and I wanted to have, because this has got some lovely banners going on in this one here. So this is the additional one to the Peaceful Seasons stamp set, which is just purely Christmas sentiments, which I love all of this. Not only does the Christmas have a die cut out, so you can do the innie and the outie, so you can stamp that in a colour if you want to, and then you can cut the whole thing out, or you can then die cut the actual word Christmas in a colour cardstock and then stick it to the outie part. So you kind of got like a bit of a drop shadow on that. So there's several things, but I really love these banners here as well, and these banners can be used at any time throughout the year, because they don't really necessarily say Christmas, these banners, I don't think. And this is just a banner anyway, so it can be used for any time. So it's not just something which is going to go, oh, I can only come out at Christmas, apart from those words there, obviously. But there's more, that there's got two there against the rest of this. So it's one which is definitely an investment which can be used at all times for that, as obviously as long as your sentiment fits in it, which it does. So the sentiment from the actual stamp set will fit in this as well. So that was what I was going to do, is going to have a little look at that. So I now just want to have a little think about how I want to do this. So first thing is, let me just cut this out. Yes, Linda, you could use the glue on dimensional. It gives it a little bit of a wiggle time as well. And that's that one right there. So that's how that sentiment cuts out. And it cuts that little bit of a part out for that, for the little tails going on here, kind of gives it that drop shadow which it's got as well. Okay, and then that potentially could then also go over this part right here. So Jay, would you do any colouring on this potential banner to bring this to life a little bit? Is there anything you would suggest for any colouring on that potentially? Just to bring it to life? I'm just gonna give Jay's just gonna give you a quick look at some stuff. That's what I was kind of thinking was some grey. But hey, see whether or not you can bring that to life. I put him under the spotlight now, but this is where he thrives.
Light smoky slate and a color lifter. I think I may need a new one. So I would just do pretty much where the lines are and do the other one. And then color lifter. Of course, if it's you can change the colors if you want, but I wanted to keep it white, and just touch the edges with your color lifter, so that will blend it out or spread it out a little bit. So with the color lifter, do just wait for it to dry and do its thing, and then if you want it lighter, just keep going over it depending on how light you want the edges. So most of the shading will be around where the banner is, I would say. You could also add some more underneath. So is that how you want it? Is that like the curve? Because if I do that, that's a curve down. Do you know what I mean?
Whatever way you think looks best.
Okay. So I will do the bottom there and the bottom there.
Okay.
And then just do that.
So this is another great way that you can bring in your stamping blends if you've got any of your colouring tools or some pencils, just to add a little bit of shading on this. Done?
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you're happy with it.
Yeah. No, so can you see that's turned that white piece of cardstock has now just elevated that just a little bit, and then giving that drop shadow behind. So then also giving that even more depth and making that look like that's raised up as well. So that's just another tip which you can do right there with some colouring. Now I've got to make sure I stamp this perfectly. Because we need to have a little look. So the sentiments, I think from this particular set, I think are now going to be a little bit too big to go in that. So that's fine, because you would have your happy and your merry, which would go in there for those, or you could then do put some other bits in there. You can get fancy if you want. So I'm not going to use any of the sentiments from that particular one, but it still does take in the all is merry one, or let's just go with the just for you. No, I'm going to go with all is merry again. We'll keep it. Does anyone else want to go into song? So let's just do this with the red once again. Pressure is on. So my head's just going to come in ever so slightly just to get over the top of this. There we have it. So the sentiment all is merry fits in there as well as I think the just for you may be just a little bit too just for you maybe just a little bit too big for it, but give that one a try anyway. But the all is merry fits in there quite nicely. So now what do I do with this? What do I do now? So I was kind of thinking to myself, it just needs to kind of like go across the whole middle part like that. But the problem is that what's it called? My finial?
Finial.
Finial gets lost at the top.
Your crown.
My crown. But then if I bring that up and raise that up like that, I think that works quite nicely. Going across that, so I'm going to have that onto some, I'm going to double D that, I reckon, so it's going to be a bit of a chunky one. So it's going to be a hand posted. And I'm going to do that on there as well. So let's just dimensional there and dimensional there. And then that can then go on the middle part of that ornament like that. And that works really well, I think, with that particular. So on its own, that is really, really pretty. And that colouring just really brings that to life on that quite nicely. So even if we popped that on that first card and it's in like that, works quite well. Okay, so you can do all sorts, but we're just going to just have a play around with this one. I just now need to decide where this is going to go.
Amazing.
See. Yeah, let's just bring that in so it's... I'm going to do the same thing. I'm kind of going to keep it in the same area as I did the first time round. And then we will then just add in some embellishments in here just to finish that off. And then the embellishments can then be sat on the inside. So therefore it doesn't, I'm not going to give it any more height because I'm going to stick it to this one right here. And then I'll just add some dimensionals on the back over here just so it doesn't flap around on this part. So that's going to just kind of support the top part. We will then have some glue on the bottom. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So let's just stick this whole piece down. So the same layout card, two ways. That one and that one, and then we just have a little bit of glue down here on that. And that way my crown doesn't get lost in the paper. It kind of brings it down into, you've got the separation of colours going on here, so it kind of then just separates itself quite nicely. So that's that. And there we have that one. So with some embellishments, don't know where they went.
Or did you put it back? Sorry.
So being that we've got the golds in here again, let's just bring in my Drucy and we will see. Let's see if we can work these in. Let's just have a little look at what a silver one looks like to start off with. See if that's, because the gold's just maybe just a little bit, there's a lot of gold, so it might be competing a little bit. So I'm just going to bring in some of the silver around with the snowflakes, because I've used a snowflake embossing folder, so it's kind of, we can just going to do a J, and I'm going to tuck one underneath. that. So 2 cards, pretty much identical to each other, with layouts, but slightly different with just the way that we've done. So with the dies which we've used, obviously this one is going to be completely from the one set, so just one set is needed, and then embossing folders and papers. This one again, I've used a different same sentiment, but obviously as you saw, I used a different die set for the banner on that particular one, and that's how that one there. And I think it just adds another element to it. So there's 2 cards. So what do you think? Both very, very simple, quite easy to replicate. If you're doing some masses, you can knock these out again quite quickly, I reckon. I know it's taken me an hour to do the 2 cards, but that's with designing at the same time. So you can always case these and do elements and then just have a production line. So there we have it. That there is my card for this evening. So Joe's just going to come over now.
Yes, sorry, I was busy adding links and there we go.
So excellent. So what's everyone
I'm trying
saying right there?
To sit on Tommy.
Tommy's not budging at all, is he?
Oh, my chat disconnected on the laptop. I can see all of these.
Oh, did it not?
Yeah.
Lovely. Excellent. Pretty peacocks are best. So Joe's just going to go and turn my dinner quickly. It's typical. Oops. Was that what you were going to do, Jay? Yeah. So do remember then you can join us on Sunday for the live craft along using the Hang An Ornament sets, where you'll be making 9 projects in the day, or you'll be making 6 projects definitely, but you're going to have inspiration for 9 on the day. But if you can't join us live, then you can join us at any time. It's on replay and it is available to everyone worldwide. So do check that one out if you want some more inspiration with this set right here. So let's go over to there.
Yes, so Tanji mentioned that the annual catalog supplement pages is available. So I have added the link on the live chat. So these are pages that's got all of the pictures of DSP, dies and punches. The link that I added in the live chat was for the UK. But if you just change the link on the address bar, instead of UK, put US, or maybe a CA for Canada, you'll find those PDFs.
Or AU for Australia.
I'm thinking,
I would imagine.
I
don't know for New Zealand if it'll be NZ, so just have a little look at those ones there. You may just need to put your country abbreviation code on there, and that may change that. So give that a try if that one doesn't, if you're going straight to the UK version.
Yeah.
Cool. So good little tip there. So I'm pleased you liked what I've done tonight. But yeah, anything you'd like to add?
No, I can't remember anything.
So Jay did a great colouring masterclass last night, using the, what's it called?
Christmas Friends.
Christmas Friends. I want to say Fluffiest Friends, but that's the other one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which was really good. So hopefully we'll be creating some cards with those very soon. But you've done some amazing colouring with that.
Linda's already made a card with it, shared on Instagram. So check out Linda and on Instagram.
Good. Excellent. Yes. So we're going to head over to Zoom right now. So if you'd like to come along and have a little bit of a chat with us and chat with everyone else whilst we just tidy up and just potter around doing some stuff, then please do. Just be on for about half an hour or so, and then it's just a good way of you just extending this video just a little bit more.
Yes. And hello to Leilani and Rachel from Facebook. The chat just came up now.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Lovely. All right. Well, we will see you again on Sunday night, same time, same place. If we don't see you on Zoom in a moment, but we'll see you in a few days' time.
Cool. Take care, everyone.
Thanks everyone for watching. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.